Hello, loves. Wow, I haven't been here for a while. A lot of things have been going on, and I am still trying to wrap my head around it. I know you guys are probably going down the rabbit hole just like everybody else here. And I want to say that right now I have a lot of speculations going on, and so I don't really want to go in on them. There's a lot of hearsay, there's a lot of disinformation out there, there's a lot of people going in different directions, and so I just want to connect with you guys, and as a collective we are here to help, and if we feel that we can't do much on the outside, then there's an idea to just go within and help our neighbors. We here in Texas are now being the pandemic is now coming back. Some of us are now having to start wearing masks. Most of us are definitely having protection with us wherever we drive. You know, some days really can feel, I can feel it. Some days are really just very, very difficult because we do not really know what we can trust in and what we can't. All I can say is that the feeling is, and the intention is for the deep state not wanting to give up control. And I know that Trump has said that the boom, 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 the storm, we're in the storm. And some of us are saying, okay, where's the storm? But there are a lot of things that are happening. Well, just look at it. You know, the Pope has been taken out. The Queen, the Windsor family is no longer in the palace. The power has been shifted. You know, just things like that can tell us that things are going on. But then now is who is financing the riots, and what is the next step? What is the next thing that they're doing? Yeah, they're gonna bring the spike of the coronavirus is now spiking because of Trump rallies. Are you kidding me? Really? Oh yeah, but protesters and everything else is fine, but the Trump rally is where the spikes are coming. I mean, come on. Each one of us has, let's say, an obligation to keep ourselves leveled, and sometimes that is difficult because we are looking at the world and we're looking at what is happening and we're wondering what it is. What's the next step? I mean, and I don't know, if as a child, sometimes we were playing hide and seek and we're hiding somewhere and like, oh, are they going to find me? Are they going to find me? Okay, that's not a bad trouble, right? But then sometimes somebody would scare you and you're like, oh, and that's a little bit what I'm thinking. What is the next step? What are they planning? So I'm starting to get some understanding about the cryptocurrencies, that is the deep state's way of continuously funneling money in different places. I would say, I don't know. I'm not an economist, and I'm sure people that are economists have never seen anything like it. So there's not a precedence either of what is happening. The way that we are having a new stimulus package. Let's see if that happens. The way that small businesses are getting extra loans that can be forgiven if they keep their, you know, the people employed. There's a lot of things that are going on that looks very positive. But I have a question for you, and that is, if we all can see. And I'm saying, I don't even know how many of us are seeing that this mask is just, it's fake. Okay, and all thoughts aside regarding people that have gotten sick, and I've been one of those that have worked with them, with my three or four other people, gone in and cleared them of their virus. Okay, so that is possible. So that's why I'm not really worried about it. But if we all can see this and we're walking around with something we don't want to walk around with, is it not like something that is wrong with ourselves, that we are looking at this as, wait a minute, I go to a work that I don't want to work with. I go to the job every day and I don't want to go there. You see, we've almost gotten conditioned to do things we don't want to do. And if this resonates with you, please tell me below. Because if it resonates with you that we have gotten so conditioned to become slaves, which we didn't call ourselves, to do things that we don't want to do, then it's about time to stand up for what we do want to do. And I'm saying that on so many levels. Some of you that know me on a personal level know what I'm going through. So it's about time to stand up for what you do want to do, no matter what's going on around you. So, and that goes for what your family believes in. If you don't believe in it, it's time to stand up for that. If you don't believe in it, you don't believe in it. I want to show you what I do almost every morning. Some mornings I do different things, but almost every morning I take my mala beads and they're 108, and I go, I have a mantra that I say every morning, and I do that. And I go through all the beads, and when I'm done and I'm still not focused on what I'm saying with the mantra, then I continue until I'm focused, until all the other thoughts go away. You can do that with anything. You can do that with, like I have some bracelets. You can do that with a bracelet. Just continue. Taking a bracelet, just do that. Continue, continue, continue. And say a mantra. Say something that is beautiful. Say something that is empowering to you. Or get yourself an Indian mantra. I don't know. But, and just continue, continue, continue until your mind is calm. Until your body is calm. Until your whole physique is calm. Because sometimes, because of the chaos outside, our bodies are shutting down. And what happens when that happens? Our immune system goes down as well. Or watch a I Love Lucy movie. Or take a walk, take a hike, take a run. Or listen to this. This is another thing I do. And just breathe. Right now it's tuned to your heart. There you go. And if you have a hard time right now, just put your hands on your heart. Now you might hear there's a double, something else coming in too. It's a lower vibration. It's a grounding vibration. Go back to the heart. Some of the clearest frequencies that can help you calm down a little bit around all the craziness going on. So yes, today is not a day where there's a lot of new news for my part, because there's so much uncertainty out there. There's so much uncertainty that tells me that it is time to go within. It is time to maybe even throw away all the theories you have and try to unlearn all the stuff you've learned, and then walk out and look at it with different eyes again. Maybe that's the way we're going to have to reset ourselves. Just unlearn all the past 5-6 months that we've gotten of all this, what's going on, and then just try to see if we can look at it from a different perspective. Because I literally have to drive I have to be armed when I'm driving now. And that's not sending the signal that I feel that I'm completely safe, because you don't know on the roads. And some of you might not understand that, and that's okay. I wish I was in that situation where I wouldn't understand that. But some of us are, and it's not something that I usually did. I usually never was. I drive all over the country without. Now I don't. And it's sad. But my deepest wish and my deepest intention, because I am taking back my power, but my deepest intention is that we stay in a frequency of love, and that love goes beyond everything. And I know that there are many sites that are being taken down now by YouTube because of the spread. They're able to spread the information very fast. Then I would just tell you to go into the White House site and see what's going on, see what President Trump is doing, and he is our friend. He is here for our best. He and a whole bunch of groups that actually chose him to do this job. It wasn't like he says, "Oh, I want to do this." No, he was being asked to do that. And if he hadn't done it, we had a little bit different 3 or 4 years going on. So there's a lot of good things coming. We're just not really sure what the bad guys are going to be doing right now. And some people say plant your garden. Was it Rousseau that said that? Plant your garden? There's something about that. Now I'm in a country or in a place where it's very, very, very hot in the summertime. And I don't know how my gardens never survive out there. I always have to take part of them inside because it's too hot out there. But we shall see. Maybe that is the case. Maybe that's what we need to do. Plant our gardens. I mean, I have already some potato gardens and stuff like that going on. But I want you to know, guys, I love you. And I know it can look a little dismal. And especially after it was wonderful seeing the Trump rally. I didn't see it personally, but it was wonderful feeling that energy coming there. But then we also knew that the cabal and the satanic rituals and all this thing were doing the same thing at the same time. And so I was ambivalent. I was feeling the good and I was feeling the bad. And I was like, oh God, it neutralized everything for me. And I tried to stay on the high, but I had a hard time with that. So I want you to know I love you guys. I am here, and I know I was a little absent, but there is a reason for it, because if I can't give anything positive out, then I feel that all of us, we can always share the negative, but I want to share the positive. And so factually, I'm going down the rabbit hole like many of you, but on many levels, I'm also saying, what is it that we are here to do as light workers? And I'm sure if you have connected with me, you are a light worker as well. So what is it we're here to do? We're here to hold the space. We're here to hold the energy. We're here to hold the frequency. I came with a certain frequency into this world, and so did you. And if we get it bogged down by doubt and sadness and all what's going on, then what happens is that everybody goes down that road. And I feel like I don't want to spread that, but I want to say that I was for a while and have a couple of days where I've been a little bit concerned. We are of course going in the right direction, but there's a lot of a lot of things that we don't know. We, the common people, we don't know what's really going on. And I don't want to spread anything else, but the fact that the deep state is being taken out, that is true. I mean, you've seen big players being taken out. Now we need to have the families. I remember as a very young person, and I learned about these families, I said, well, if there's only 13 families, can't we take them out? Or can't we put them to jail for crimes for humanity? I mean, they've totally killed millions of people. They've brought on to these wars. They've literally taken, the narrative has been so cleverly put together that the enemies out there, no, the enemies are those families. Has nothing to do with the other countries. You see, Trump is a friend of Putin now. They're working together. He's working together with Israel. He's working together with Kim Jong-un. How could that be? Well, because they took out the cabal, or the evil that was controlling them. You have an evil person standing there with a gun at your head and say, if you don't do what we want, then your family's going to be taken out. If you do what we want, you're going to be living nicely. And I don't know if you guys know, but before Trump actually took office, from the time he was elected to the time he actually went into office, his life was threatened, or his life was, they tried to take him out at least 100 times. I've been told by a close, and I'm thinking, oh my God. I knew it would be maybe 1 or 2, but not that many times. So he's in constant having to, deal with that. At the same time, all the things he's already done. And like he says, it's not him. He's just the one that's between you and the freedom. And they don't want that. He's between you and freedom. No, he's the one that is between the bad guys. He's taking all the brunt. He's standing there in the front line. He's standing in the front lines, taking all the bullets. Don't want to say that. I want to put it out there. He's taking the tough times. He's on the conversations. He's doing the. I want to cancel that thing that I said just before. I do not want him to. Oh, absolutely no. But he's taking the brunt of everything, and he's between. He's in between, so that if they get the power over, which I don't think they will anymore, because there's so much now. We have our general who has been freed now. He's completely freed, so he can get back in and work like he was supposed to. He was supposed to be working. Because he knows all the deep state's hidden grounds. He knows everything. He knows much more than you think. That's why they didn't want him. They wanted to They wanted to judge him, and they wanted to put him behind bars. General Flynn, yeah. And so, looking at that, we have a very short period of time before we go to election again. And in that short period of time, these people are going to try to do whatever they can. So sometimes we have to hold our breath, go under the water, and get up on the other side. You know what I mean? And I feel sometimes that's what's going on right now. We're having to hold our breath, and we're having to swim underwater for a little while. And as you can see, I'm a little bit concerned. Yes, I am. I am concerned. I'm concerned over the fact that how our population can be so duped. We can be so duped into thinking that it's about race. It has nothing to do with race. And that really pisses me off. It really, really pisses me off. And I am here. I don't want to give you a feeling of that things are not going to be right, because we are also having to remember one thing. We are going into the higher frequencies. That is what they have been trying to stop for the longest time. So geoengineering, now luckily here in the US we don't have that anymore. Trump stopped that program. I saw another thing from from Australia. They're still doing it in Australia. So I know that there's still a stronghold somewhere. Somebody's still able to press the button. Somebody's still able to put out those orders and this geoengineering. What they do is they make these clouds filled with all this strontium and I don't know, all these other chemicals. They fly over. Now I know that is going to stop too. So whether you understand it or not, we need our president to win this election so that he can finish the job that Kennedy started and was killed for. And if you go back in history, what's his name? Lincoln too was assassinated. It wasn't a Democrat or Republican. It was the deep state. He too was opening up. He was freeing people. He was opening up for the freeing of the slaves. And there was a lot of people in the deep state that didn't want that. So if you can understand, it goes all the way back there. It goes way back to the Babylonian times anyway. But if you can understand right now in this modern history, Lincoln was taken out. Reagan had an assassination on him. Kennedy was taken out because he was talking about the deep state. So let's put a warm, loving heart around Trump, our president, because he's doing something for the nation. Many of you, not many that are following me, but many of the people that might not be following me are not that awake. And not because they're not following me. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to say it that way. That sounds really, if you don't follow me, you're not awake. Boom, 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 boom. No, many people that are not awake, that have been drinking the Kool-Aid, that have been drunk on the Kool-Aid, that are watching mainstream media, that are on their devices, getting the news from there. They're looking at Trump as the worst president in history. And I'm thinking, how wrong they are. Please wake up. And each one of you that has the ability to talk to one of these people, please plant a seed. Plant a seed with something that you know that he has done, like human trafficking. So a friend of mine and I came in later, but now it's 11:11. Woo! A friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine, had been working with human trafficking for about 17 years. Around February, March, the calls stopped. When she called me, she says, is it because there's nobody else, or is it because they're doing it a different way? What's going on? But I know that as soon as Trump took office, that was his first executive order, was to crack down on human trafficking. He, his wife, and Ivana put that as their mission, to stop this human trafficking. Well, human trafficking led to all of the thousands of arrests, indictments that are hundreds of thousands of indictments is because of the human trafficking. Everybody got caught through that. You have the Epstein, you have the Weinstein, you have the Hollywood elite and everybody else. And of course, a lot of the adrenochrome and all that. Look at one thing. The proof is in the pudding. Nobody's talking about it because mainstream media is still owned by the families, but the proof is in the pudding. Ellen is not having her show anymore. She's at home with an ankle thing on. Oprah's show is not going to happen either. So just those two huge megastars, they're not going to be having their shows. Tom Hanks, you're not going to be seeing him. You might see his stunt double. You're not going to be seeing him on the news or making any more movies. There might be a digitized version, but not him. And there are many others, but these are the people that we are looking at. And I think it is that Ellen is in house arrest. I don't know exactly what it is, her thing is, but it's, things are folding, things are unfolding, and sometimes things that we're seeing, we can't even believe. We're like, did I see that? Is that true? Or is it a play? Is it a game? What is it? This morning I had a download, and my download was like, it was a blessing. I was like, oh my God, that is so good. Thank you guys. I know that when I get a download, that means that I'm being upgraded again, upgraded to see more. And then there's a part of me that started crying too, because I'm like, I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of this fight. I'm not going to give up, but I'm tired of it right now. You know, and I'm sure you guys are too. Like, but that is what they want. So please don't give in to it. Because some of us are we're going to be getting soon some kind of an offer we can't refuse. Like, if you vaccinate and you give up your guns and you give up your rights, then we're going to have peace. First of all, if you vaccinate, they're vaccinating not your COVID, they're vaccinating the tracking device. That means they can control your money, they can control your job, they can control your kids, they can control your health. They can literally bring in diseases that are going to happen in your body, so they can control you. If you're saying things like me, and they get a thing like that inside of you, guess what? Bye-bye. Oh, I hate having to say this, but it's true. And if they take their guns away from you, if they take your guns away from you or your ammo, then you can't defend yourself against, a corrupt government or gangs or whatever. Because you're going to call the police and they're going to say, well, we're defunded. Now, this is going to happen on a low, so I believe Trump is doing like this. This is going to happen on a very low scale. He's going to let that game play out in wherever it is right now, Minnesota, Seattle. He's going to look at it. He's going to have America look at it, and we are. And then he's going to shift. But first, he needs to show everybody who the deep state is, which governors. So we're calling them out. Each one of us is calling them out. We're writing our governors. We are not accepting this. That's what we can do as people. And that's how we're waking up. And that's how we're waking up the nation. Does it feel like we just want to eat popcorn and watch a movie? Yes, it does. But right now, it's time to open our eyes and actually see it. Some days, take a break, get away from social media. Other days, go in and and do your research. Because everything I say is what I see. But do your research. And when you do your research, then you get to see what it is that is really happening, But I have the utmost love for each one of you, and I know that this is going to get better. But it might have to get worse before it gets better. And the thing is that I feel everybody's feeling, what is the denominator? What is the part that's going to get worse? They're going to have to shock us with something. World Trade Center was one, and it was an inside job, and that is 100% proven. The shooting of the Pentagon, they bombed the archives. The archives, interesting. They bombed the archives. Guess why they bombed the archives? Because they were supposed to come with a report that said where all the trillions of dollars went to Congress. NESARA was supposed to be put into law. NESARA, which was a National Economic Stimulus Act. And that was supposed to be put into law 9/11/2001. World Trade Center. Ding. Focus on something completely different. Wow. Now we have this. And it was Arabs with airplanes. The airplanes are showing right now, because I'm a film major, and I remember looking at those and I was thinking, that's not airplanes. That's not real. It just felt like it wasn't real. And the more you look at it, it's like, nope, it was the, they have this technology they can use, and they do it in films all the time. That they superimpose pictures on a picture, or what's it called? I'll get to it later. But those were two bombs. That was, you saw how the World Trade Center went down. It was a demolition, and demolition experts know that it was demolished. But a lot of people had gag orders, and then they had Building 7 that suddenly went down. That Building 7 had all the plans of the NESARA, which was an economic freedom for all people. But that also meant that Congress was going to have to let go of their rising money that they kept going, and they didn't want to do that. Congress didn't want to, the politicians didn't want it, the deep state didn't want it, because then they were going to be, the monetary system was going to be shifted. That's what we're doing right now. But they've had so many years since 9/11 or 2001 to really get their game stable. The New World Order, has been really, really pumped in everybody, and everybody's having to follow it. And Trump is the only one. He and the white hats in the military, and the people that are working with the computers that are able to help, navigate what's going on, where is it going, things like that. Gosh, guys, because this Nassar would have given us debt relief. It would give IRS abolished. And so this is what we're looking at right now. We're looking at things that are happening, and they're happening in a way that he can't really tell us what it is he's doing, because then the bad guys know it. So he has to constantly, with symbolism, show us that we are on the way, we're on the way, we're on the way, he's on the way, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. We are getting where we need to go. But the funny part is that he's sometimes when I'm in a lower frequency, I question. I'm like, no, this can't be true. It's too good to be true. Can it really be true that we're going that way? And then suddenly the universe shows me, yes, IRS office is closing. I'm like, okay. I haven't gotten one IRS. I have some taxes that I need to pay back. I haven't gotten one that has asked me to do that. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is happening. And I'm saying maybe because I don't want to lead you guys down astray, because sometimes I've been very, very powerfully positive that this is going to happen. This is definitely happening. And then the last things I've seen this last week has just gotten me a little, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And that is all I can leave you guys with. But stay in your hearts, stay up in that frequency, because that is what's going to help him. And send him a lot of love, guys, because he needs it. Can you imagine waking up with the weight of the world on your shoulders like he has? Yeah, there's nothing, none of us could have done this. I mean, I know I couldn't. And I have a little bit of weight on my shoulders, and I'm having a hard time. And can you imagine what he's going through? So he has a lot of help. He has a lot of help from God. He has a lot of help from us. And let's just keep doing that. I love you guys with so much love. Over and out.